and we're going to talk about some great stuff. I'm going to make a salad, number one. Number two, we're talking about Lyme disease, talking about autoimmune, and we're talking about blood draw. Really important things to know, things that can keep you safe, things that are really critical to understand. So we're covering a lot of stuff, you guys. This is an avocado in my hand, by the way. I got 3 avocados right here in front of me, so I'm excited about that. Got some avocado. Making this salad, it's called the chopped salad. Pretty basic, right? Chopped salad. It's got avocado in there. It's got red bell pepper in there. Got cucumber. Okay. So, hey, you guys. Good to see you. Glad you're coming on. I want to read you a little quote from the medical medium, Secrets Behind Chronic and Mystery Illness and How to Finally Heal. This is the revised and expanded edition. And if you guys, did you guys get this yet? Have you guys, do you have this in your hands yet? This is really exciting. Powerful information. It's out and you don't want to miss out. You don't want to miss out. Okay? You're making dinner? I see that right there. Cool. Guys, doing a little experimental thing with tech today and see how things work. And so if I'm moving around or doing something, Anya, you're loving the book? Amazing. Right there on Facebook. On Facebook and YouTube Live, by the way. So I'm both, Valerie, you love the new book? Incredible. Isn't it a mind blower? It's such a mind blowing book. It really is. It's an amazing book. So I'm glad you guys are on. Just order the new book. That's it. Right here. It's in my hand. I can't wait for you guys to get it. Making the chopped salad inside the book. So it's just showing you right here. Right? So I'm going to make this, if you guys don't mind. All right? Yep. I'm glad you guys, you're waiting for the book in Germany. Thanks for being here. That's incredible. Germany's a great place. I'm honored you're here. Amazing, you guys. So, you guys, today I'm doing something. I'm testing out the tech, and something might be a little messed up on YouTube or Facebook, but just bear with me. Trying a new system, trying to make it work for you guys, trying to get the best so you guys can see the most. We'll see what happens. All right, so I'm talking about blood draw today. I'm talking about Lyme disease, talking about autoimmune, and I'm making a salad. I'm glad we're all here. Take a look. I mean, seriously, it's great to have you in my kitchen. I love having you guys in my kitchen. Okay, that's a very special thing. So you guys got the new book. Love the new book. Ordered Cleanse to Heal too. Cleanse to Heal is a mind-blowing book as well. It's, the opportunity to heal is in these books. That's what's incredible. And so many people are healing and have healed. Really is amazing. How you guys on YouTube? You're waiting for me to come on? Sunny Valley, I'm here. And I'm honored you're here. Your book is coming tomorrow? Great, I'm just reading the comments, you guys. Can't put the book down. It's so detailed. It is insanely detailed. This book is detailed. Yeah, it's great. Hey, AW, can't wait for this conversation. I saw that. Lemon Balm Love, you healed because of these books? Incredible. Robin, hi, AW, from New Hampshire, great book. Thank you for being here. I'm honored. Guys, I got YouTube on. I'm reading YouTube comments. Going to be reading Facebook comments. This is just a special time with this book coming out right now. Yeah, it really is a great time. Really is a special time. So, doing a little reading for you guys is what I'm doing. Just reading some comments. Robinson, I've had a post of yours fact-checked today. My friend did too. Yeah, we post, and I think what happens is the system doesn't realize that medical medium information is medical medium information. All of medical medium information in all the books is original and unique. and comes from the source. And you guys know, because if you read the first chapter, Origins of the Medical Medium, right here in this book, new edition, you'll read about the source in which the information comes from. All the information in this book, okay, and in the medical medium books is advanced, and it's decades ahead of science and research. So medical medium information is going to be fact checked because they don't realize it, but it gets fact checked back to me because it's original and unique, and that's why millions are healing around the world. So you can't just take medical medium information, type it in, and try to find it somewhere else unless someone else has taken it and they're not citing it. But it's the original from the source. So you're going to see that. You're going to see a post that will be like, fact check, this isn't true. Well, that's kind of funny because it is, because this is the source. So they just don't realize that. And medical science research is taking all my information now. So they're taking the information and using it out there, and it was published first here in this book, published first. That says a lot, doesn't it? When you really think about it, what does that tell you? So I put unique original information in the medical medium book, and then years later, science and research steals it out of the book, right? Plagiarizes it, and then they start to use it, even though it's already been published. So legally, it is here published and documented first. And years later, science and research, they can't come up with their own answers to why everybody's sick, so they had to steal medical mediums. It's actually incredible when you think about it. It's also really insane, too. Like, I mean, are they that desperate where they could just knock on my door and say, hey, well, you obviously have healed so many people with your information, so can we use your information? Good to see you guys. We choose truth, Michelle L. We choose truth over studies. I mean, how many studies get people better? None. That's what's really demented about it all, right? I mean, you could be sick for 30 years with thyroid problems, fibromyalgia, multiple sclerosis symptoms, seen 20, 30 specialists, and the study on matcha tea is not going to fix you. Well, they're busy with studies. You know, they're busy with studies with all kinds of stuff. They're studying wine. They're studying alcohol. They're studying wine. Just give you the stress benefits. That's what they're studying. Meanwhile, people are sick all around the world with autoimmune in all kinds of ways. I mean, dying, sick, and they're studying wine. They'll pay for studies on this group of people drinking wine seems to have a lower reduced stress level paid for by the wine companies. This group here who's not drinking wine seem to be a little bit more uptight and upset. Well, maybe because they're not drunk. All right. Okay. Thanks to the readers who went into action with the information here in this book. This book has prompted medical research and science to recategorize Lyme disease. This book prompted medical research and science to recategorize Lyme disease. I mean, talking about powerful, what a powerful book. It's unbelievable. While labeling Lyme as autoimmune, because that's what they did because of this book, still does not represent a full understanding of Lyme symptoms. This recategorization is a way for medical research and science to admit we don't understand this as well as we thought we did. So medical research and science doesn't understand Lyme disease or anything else in chronic illness as much as they thought they did, especially Lyme disease. And that's a major shift toward progress if you think about it, you guys. It's a testament to the people who read here in medical medium that Lyme disease is viral. Eureka! Viral, not bacterial. Okay? Who brought that information to their doctors and who applied the healing protocols here and got results. It's also thanks to the doctors who have educated themselves with this material as they work to help their patients. Many doctors have even applied the healing protocols in their own lives with their own Lyme disease symptoms. All right, I wanted to read that. Yeah, it is. I mean, Jeanette, right? That's powerful. It's life-changing. So yeah. So anyway, you guys, I'm on here. We're live YouTube and Facebook. I want to make you some food, and we're going to read some stuff in here that's really cool. Thanks for being here with me. We'll read together, right? And let's do that now. Let's read a little bit before I start chopping up some salad. Good to see you guys. You got the book a few days ago. Have you, Danya, have you tapped into the book? I hope so. Hope you got a chance. Ariana, why is everything viral? Epstein-Barr. Well, science and research believes everything's genetic. Your genes, Anya. So that's what they believe. So the question is, why does research and science, medical research and science, believe that every single thing is genetic? So that's the question you have to be asking. Like, why is research and science thinking it's all genetic? So every single disease you have now out there, every single symptom, every single condition is genetic now. So it's not like, why is everything Epstein-Barr, Anthony? No, why research and science is everything genetic? That's all they have as an answer. So think about that, right? When your functional medicine doctor or your practitioner or natural practitioner, when they do all their magic spells, we'll try a little this, we'll try a little apple cider vinegar here, take these fish oil capsules, hey, take this supplement here, let's do this test, maybe we can do this. Whatever they do, and in the end, they still believe it's your genes. In the end, if you really beat them down on the ground enough about it, it's your genes. So it's not about, and plus, I don't say Epstein-Barr is everything. I don't say Epstein-Barr is everything. Simplex 1, I talk about a lot. HHV6. The shingles virus has over 30 varieties of mutated strains. The Epstein-Barr is not one virus. The Epstein-Barr virus is over 60 varieties of mutated strains, and they do different things. Toxic heavy metals. I talk about in a lot of the books, radiation. Okay? Toxic heavy metals. Talk about that. And pharmaceuticals causing problems, like all of it. So everything's not Epstein-Barr, but a lot of stuff is Epstein-Barr. So yeah. So you guys, I'm going to read a little bit in here, and then we're going to get making a salad. I'm glad you guys are on here. I'm excited. I got YouTube live right here, which is really cool. I also talk about high-fat diets being harmful, too. So it's not just Epstein-Barr. It's high-fat diets, beating down your liver, giving you a stagnant, sluggish liver, doing harm. I talk about all the trends that are bad, like all the bad trends that cause trouble. I talk about a lot of stuff. And then I talk about the emotional aspect. Not just Epstein-Barr, I talk about the emotional aspect, betrayal, what happens with your adrenals, what happens when you're in fight or flight, what happens when you're somebody breaks your trust and betrays you, stabs you in the back, or you get a broken relationship and a broken heart and a divorce and all kinds of stress that people go through. I talk about that. Medical meme information is really vast with a lot of information. Pam, question there on Facebook. Do you think Epstein-Barr is part of your genetics? Wow, 60 varieties. Yeah, it's not part of genetics. Viruses have nothing to do with genes at all. At all. Nothing to do with genes. So a virus, just so you know, okay, a virus is a microorganism. It has nothing to do with your genes. It's absolutely nothing to do. It's a bug. It's on its own. It's a bug. Does a fly flying around a room have anything to do with your genes? Does it? When you get food poisoning from a food-borne microorganism, a bad parasite on a piece of meat or a piece of raw fish, and you get the food does that have something to do with your genes? I don't think so, right? It doesn't at all. Virus that you can contract, okay? So say you got mono, which is the Epstein-Barr virus, and you kiss somebody, right, in a relationship, that person then catches mono. Is that their genes? Why would that be their genes? They just caught mono from you. So when you go into a public bathroom and you sit on a toilet after somebody has fecal matter on that toilet, and in that fecal matter, the poop on the toilet, there's viruses all in it because they're sick with the HHV6 or Epstein-Barr or shingles, and you sit on the toilet and you catch the virus somehow. Is that your genes? You kiss somebody with a cold sore and you got the simplex 1 virus and you got a fever blister and you kiss them and now they have a fever blister. Is that their genes? No, they caught a bug that's its own microorganism, and that's how it works. It's the thing is that, but they'll tell you though that it's your genes. So Dupree says viruses can integrate into your data. No, they can't. They can't. So they can't mess with your DNA. They can't become your DNA. They can't, that's all theory, and there's no science behind that. There's no study that can actually show that. That's theoretical. But, it's theoretical. Theoretical. That's how it works. Virus is on its own. You got the herpes simplex 1 and you got your fever blister and you kiss somebody else and you give them your fever blister. They just caught herpes simplex 1. That's not your genes or DNA. That's you catching the herpes simplex 1, a live virus. It doesn't kind of get any more clear or easy, breezy or understandable. Okay. How did so many people get it? All you got to do is eat in a restaurant more than a few times in your life and you're going to get something. You just are. The amount of microorganisms, viruses like Epstein-Barr and strep and shingles you can get from restaurant eating is unbelievable. Unbelievable. You got chefs in a kitchen with 100 degrees dripping sweat in your salads and in your food. Dripping, drenching sweat, just sweat drops, right? You got that, okay? You got chefs cutting their fingers. They constantly cut their fingers. They got Band-Aids all over their hands as they're preparing your food. That's just one thing. You got public bathrooms. Public bathrooms, if you go to bathroom and you don't flush the toilet before you go to bathroom, because sitting on top of that bowl is reminiscences of somebody else and it splashes back in you. And then you can get it from relationships. Relationships is the big one. So it's relationships. That's how everybody spreads all the bugs. That's why it just goes around decades of just spreading bugs. It's just normal life. I mean, normal life. I'm not saying anything good or bad or whatever. I'm just saying that's a big piece of it. And that's just some of the stuff. I can go on and on and on. Let's look a little bit here. It's just great to answer questions, you guys. Glad we're here. So I'm making the salad, but I'm going to read a little bit out of the new edition right here, okay? So Medical Medium, Secrets Behind Chronic and Mystery Illness, How to Finally Heal, new edition. This is called a look back. This is in the Lyme Disease chapter. You guys bear with me, all right? Let's travel back in time for a moment to November 1975, when multiple children and young adults were developing symptoms which alerted doctors to launch an investigation in the area around Lyme, Connecticut, that gave Lyme disease its name, right? First, let's remind ourselves of the technology back then. Let's remind ourselves a little bit, right? Rotary phones. Do you guys remember the rotary phones? It's like, I got to call somebody, but I got to call somebody quick. Let's grab the phone. There's a lot of young people here that don't know what a rotary phone is. Or am I getting that old? Or what is it? Which one is it? I got to get a rotary phone prop. I'm going to get a rotary phone prop. I'm going to order one tonight. That's going to be good. That's going to be fun. Could do a TikTok with that one. And you're like, right? Okay, I just dialed half the number. There it is. 742 4 4 3 9, okay? That's when they're deciding your fate back then with your Lyme now. That's the technology we had back then, right? So let's travel back in time for a moment to November 1975, when multiple children and young adults were developing symptoms which alerted doctors to launch an investigation in the area around Lyme, Connecticut, that gave Lyme disease its name. If you guys just came on, watch the replay of the Facebook Live, watch the replay of YouTube, the YouTube Live. Please, if you can. First, let's remind ourselves of the technology back then. Rotary phones on the kitchen wall. The rotary phone was on the kitchen wall. This is important to know. I'm trying to tell you guys why this is important, okay? And it's part of why everybody was so injured by treatment for Lyme, and how tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of women lost their health and their lives. Their families fell apart. Many died because of stupidity in the medical system. Keep that in mind. So the rotary phones on the kitchen wall. No such thing as voicemail. Voicemail didn't exist back then. And Sony was just releasing its first VCR. Do you know what that is? Anybody too young in here? Christina laughed with an LOL. Christina Elizabeth. Right? Sony just launched their first VCR. I mean, right? Okay? For sale in the United States. In the medical world, kids were getting their tonsils plucked out as if they were apples on trees. Every kid that had a scratchy throat had their tonsils ripped out of their throat. Okay? This is dark ages. This is just 1975. But it's dark ages. And we're still in the dark ages. That's what's sad. And when I talk about blood draw in a little while, you'll know what kind of dark ages we're talking about, as you guys get sicker and sicker getting your blood taken from you. I got to kind of get your back on that, help you. Hey, Terry just said no answering machine either. Right? Terry, are we the same age? Or what? Nancy said, I remember all that as a young child. All right. Kids were getting their tonsils plucked out as if they were apples on trees, with no understanding of the underlying cause of tonsillitis. Science research is so smart, you guys. They don't even know what causes tonsillitis. And guess what? They still don't know what causes tonsillitis. And guess what? Because medical medium tells people what the cause of tonsillitis is and puts it in the books, medical research and science are going to steal that next. Just like they stole all the other information in here and started publishing with no studies behind it, but started publishing it after the fact. Plagiarizing. If you're somebody who doubts medical medium info and you're a big science person, you're all about science is everything, medical medium is crazy, whatever. Well, then this might give you some relief to know that medical research and science is hijacking all of medical medium's books and information, stealing it out of there. Yeah. And medical medium's looking into it, because that's really screwed up. They're hijacking it, taking it, and using it. They're not supposed to. This is a publication that was before all of them knowing all that. Even today, there's no clinical understanding of what's behind tonsillitis. They still don't know what's behind tonsillitis. So smart. My God, they're so smart. While technology has made leaps and bounds, yeah, with phones and crap like that, and car-like radios. Technology's made leaps and bounds of computers, phones, and car radios. That's it. Pretty much. Pretty much that's it. Think about that. Right? But cars still have rubber tires. We're so advanced, but all you gotta do is run over a nail, and your ass is stuck on the side of a highway. We have so much technology now, but we've had a rubber tire since 1902. I'm trying to think about that one. Like that's a head scratcher to me. We're so advanced in technology, but we've had car tires since 1897 or something like that. But we still have a car tire, which is a rubber tire with air filled in it since 1902 or what is it? 1904? I forget. 1890? This is crazy, right? So we're that advanced. We're advanced in car radios and cell phones and computers. While technology has made leaps and bounds, advancements in chronic and mystery illness has been at a freaking standstill. Fibromyalgia is still cause unknown. They think it's just overactive nerves. And if a functional medicine doctor talks about pathogens, it came from medical medium books and lectures. The most advanced information we have in chronic illness comes from medical medium books only. You can have the best functional medicine doctors practicing all their stuff, the best naturopaths practicing all their stuff, and anything that they talk about that's microorganisms or comes back to anything like viral or anything bacterial comes only from medical medium books. Before the medical medium books and medical medium lectures, everybody thought Candida was the cause of everything and that was it. It's actually demented when you think about it. Like, why does it have to be spirit of compassion that has to solve medical mysteries? Why does it have to be me at 4 years old, like you guys read in the book? I wake up one morning and I'm hearing a voice perfectly clear that's giving me all this information. Like, why does it have to go that route? And science research still can't figure out why everybody's sick. It's why. I wish it didn't have to go that route, because I would have had a really fun life or a peaceful life, right? The symptoms that children and a few adults in the Lyme area started to experience, chronic fatigue, headaches, joint pain, and so on, were symptoms that had been seen for decades in every other town in that state, not to mention every state throughout the entire country. So Lyme disease symptoms were nothing new. These symptoms children were experiencing were nothing new. It was just that a few doctors had some compassion and wanted to look into it. That's all it was. So they made a few phone calls. Yet somehow in this area around Lyme, the illness was treated as something new and unrecognizable, even though everybody around the world, children were suffering from this for decades. It's most likely because compassionate doctors were trying to go above and beyond their role, taking these symptoms more seriously on a personal level. Doctors, researchers, and townspeople began looking for a culprit. They went looking for a culprit, everybody, and landed on the deer tick. They landed on the deer tick. Talking about Lyme disease here. They landed on the deer tick. If you guys just got on, well, I would advise you guys to recommend at least to watch it from the beginning later on. So they landed on the deer tick because one of the patients reported seeing a tick a few weeks before he fell ill. That's like a train derailing the reasons unknown. And a passenger mentioning a deer he saw grazing 50 miles back. The clues don't add up in either scenario. Even though no one could explain why a tick would give someone Lyme disease, a 17th century style witch hunt began. Don't put those two words together. It'll happen. Based only on a rumor, deer, ticks, those two words, that lived on deer became the targets. So what happens, you guys, what happens is the deer tick took the blame, is what happened. It took the blame, right? So it's only because a deer tick was seen a few weeks back crawling on someone. And that is how it happened. Okay, Nancy says, oh my gosh, so ridiculous. Yeah, so nuts, right? So that's how it happened. You're dying here. So am I. I'm laughing hard too. The new book is incredible, Viola. So you guys, that's how it happened. So when we go back into history, into Lyme, okay, where it all started, and you think about all the science and research and technology that we have in medical research and science that we have, okay? When you think about it, right, really the conclusions were drawn from symptoms children were having that were having all around the world in places there weren't even deer ticks or ticks of any kind. Not to mention they only brought the deer tick in because one of the families saw a tick crawling on someone weeks before. You see how bad all this went? How terrible it all went? That's why Research in Science also knows that I blew the ceiling off with this one, because millions and millions of copies of this book sold around the world, and doctors learned about it, and they realized, being sensible, that Research in Science and the story and how it all happened with Lyme disease was all BS. Yes, people were sick. Yes, they get sick with neurological symptoms, but it wasn't really what it seemed to be. So, patients reporting seeing a tick a few weeks before he fell ill. That's like a train derailing for reasons unknown, and a passenger mentioning a deer tick he saw grazing 50 miles back. The clues don't add up in either scenario, like I told you guys. So, in 1981, so you guys, I'm going to make a salad in a minute. You hang it in there. So I'm doing some reading for you guys tonight. I am. I'm at your service. That's my new thing now. I'm at your service. Of course. I want to be at your service. You guys always know that. In 1981, okay? All right? A doctor announced he discovered the missing link. A bacterium named Borrelia, that the ticks passed along to humans through their bites. So he thought he found something. He thought he found a bacteria that must be passed from a tick to a human, right? 1981. It's the missing link, okay? He was lauded for his discovery, which led to a series of bacteria-focused tested treatments for Lyme disease. It was the perfect out for medical authorities. We solved your problem, you guys. Your problem solved. It's all solved. It was a tick bite. That's what it was, a tick bite. And we found the bacteria. Everybody only had AM radio. Everybody had rotary phones on the wall, right? No, 911 probably didn't exist, right? You had to call the town office to get an emergency vehicle to your house, or you had to call the police department number with your rotary phone. But they had the answers for Lyme disease, just like they have them now. It was a perfect out for the medical authorities. No one liked ticks anyway. You guys like ticks? Do you guys like ticks crawling on you? Do you guys like when you have a tick crawling on you? I didn't like seeing those roaches run across my counter. Did you see those roaches run across my counter in the TikTok video? I'm still laughing here, cracking myself up. No one likes ticks anyway, and the theory of a tick-borne illness fed into the fear of nature already present in society. We hated ticks. Everybody hates ticks. Right? Medical authorities felt they could give up on digging for the answer. All done. Don't have to look for any answers anymore. We figured out it must have been that little tick that was, found on that patient weeks before they fell ill. No other ticks were found on anybody else, but it must have been that tick. Reading out of Medical Medium New Edition, if you guys want to know. It's a mind-blowing book. It's a mind-blowing book. Amazon.com. It's on sale right now. It's just a mind-blowing book. I can't say it enough. Unfortunately, all these discoveries were wrong. They were wrong. Wrong. This is what you won't hear anywhere else. Lyme disease is not caused by ticks. I broke the back on that with this book. Incredible what happened. It freed so many people. And Lyme disease is not caused by Borrelia. When the research was taking place in the 1970s and 1980s, you'd suppose researchers would have realized the problem was happening nationwide and globally. And today, you'd think someone would wake up and realize that hundreds of thousands of people who have never been near a deer tick receive Lyme diagnoses. So I'm going to start making some food real quick. Guys, isn't it interesting? I'm just going into that a little bit right there. Isn't it unbelievable? I'm doing the chopped salad right now, so I'm gonna start getting some lettuce going. Can you guys see this? Facebook right here, Facebook Live right now tonight, YouTube Live right there. You guys are awesome. Let me get some lettuce in this chopped salad. So let me just put some lettuce down in here. I mean, so I can just run by a couple little things with you guys. Here's what happens. Here's what happened with Lyme disease. So because they thought it was bacteria, or it was on purpose to sell billions of dollars of antibiotics. Let's say trillions of dollars of antibiotics. Let's just say that. How about that? Trillions of dollars of antibiotics, okay? Let's just say that. Worldwide, right? So, and that's what happened there. It was about selling antibiotics because there was no treatment for the disease or condition. There's no treatment now unless someone's doing an Epstein-Barr protocol for medical medium. Other than that, it's all guesswork. But they had to sell it because they needed to sell a drug for this thing. And so they had to say it was bacterial, and they had to say it was a tick. It was the perfect way out. It's the perfect way out. So I'm doing a chopped salad here. So what is behind Lyme disease, Zena? It's a viral condition. Viruses such as Epstein-Barr that cause a Lyme, they release a neurotoxin that causes neurological Lyme. They release a neurotoxin that causes neurological Lyme disease. That neurotoxin affects the nerves. Bacteria can't create a neurotoxin and can't cause neurological problems. But I can tell you right here, the history of Lyme disease is grave. Grave. So many lives destroyed. So even some podcast doctors out there and health gurus out there that gave a lot of antibiotics during the 90s to their Lyme patients. Put them in bed forever. Lyme disease, okay, if you want to say it's bacterial, Borrelia and Bartonella are not superbugs. You can kill them off with the mildest of antibiotics. But what happens is the antibiotics makes Lyme patients worse, neurological Lyme worse and worse and worse and worse. Unless you got a doctor now that gives you just a little bit of a mild antibiotic, so they're not killing you with the antibiotics, and then they're giving you cat's claw and all these other supplements like I've talked about. The cat's claw here, like I've talked about, not sponsored by the way. The cat's claw from Vimergy, and I've been talking about cat's claw for decades. And so now Lyme doctors use cat's claw. The integrative Lyme doctors, they use a little bit of antibiotics, and they see the patient get sicker and sicker and sicker from the antibiotics. So they back down. They get off the antibiotics real quick, and then they start using cat's claw and natural substance stuff. It's all medical medium information they're using now. But they do a blend so that people think they're not getting killed or literally losing their lives from their Lyme treatment. That thank God, that's what medical medium information did. It's literally turned things around so people don't get killed off by their medical Lyme treatment. Making a chopped salad. So we got the lettuce. Let's start chopping some other stuff, you guys. Do a red bell pepper. Let's do that. Red bell pepper. I cut the top like that, like you see. I know I showed you these guys this 100 times. Bartonella, Babesia, Borrelia get killed off easy with antibiotics. They're not superbugs. MRSA is a superbug, and you can and the cure rate for MRSA is incredible. It's better than Lyme. Isn't that funny? How's that possible? Because Lyme disease is viral. That's how it's possible. And viruses create neurotoxins and make people really sick. Viruses such as Epstein-Barr are the cause of Lyme disease. Why do you think now, right? Doctors have used so much medical medium information, they now test for Epstein-Barr every time they actually work with somebody with Lyme disease. What? Why are you testing for Epstein-Barr? No one gave a crap about Epstein-Barr before. Why are you testing for Epstein-Barr with everybody who has Lyme disease? Like, why are you doing that? You're testing for Epstein-Barr now? Everybody's testing for reactivated Epstein-Barr. You guys, reactivated Epstein-Barr is medical medium information. Nobody knew it reactivated. And now you can go to your doctor and they'll test you for reactivated Epstein-Barr. And just so you know, the reactivated is medical medium information. 35 years, a lot of work. But remember, I'm 28 years old. They're always writing all the articles and hit pieces on me and everything else on the internet. Everything everybody has, all the information right. They have it all wrong. Morgellons, I'm going to talk about Morgellons someday. You know what? I'll do a podcast on Morgellons, okay? How about that? I'll do a podcast on Morgellons. I'm going to cut up some tomatoes right here, you guys. Let's cut these up real quick. You can get an infection from a tick bite. You can get a bad rash from a staph infection from a tick bite. Because the tick can leave a little particle of its body inside your arm, okay? That little particle is either the tip of the tick, the head, if it's not totally taken out, all right? Or a leg of the tick can be left in your arm. When a foreign body is inside your body, you will start to get an infection, and you'll get an infection on your arm, and that infection will turn into a really nice staph infection right there. And yeah, if you need an antibiotic for that, I'm totally on board. Totally on board. But that's not Lyme disease. Can I talk about collagen? Absolutely. You can't build your collagen by taking a collagen supplement. Can I save you money by telling you that? Yeah. Years worth of bogus collagen supplements. Can only build collagen, like medical medium information has always said, and now that's being stolen out there and used. Influencers are actually talking about it now. You can't build collagen unless you're doing leafy greens. Yeah, medical medium information. Leafy greens, that's a way to build collagen. Wild blueberries, that's a way to build collagen. Trace minerals, it's a way to build collagen. Let's talk about a way to destroy collagen. Do you want your collagen ruined? Do you want all your collagen to disappear? Do you want wrinkles fast? Do you want skin all saggy and hanging early in your age? Then make sure you keep all your caffeine products going. If you want to destroy your collagen, if you like it, if you like your collagen all ruined and you want sunspots, make sure you have a lot of chocolate, because the caffeine in the chocolate will age you quick and destroy your collagen. Don't believe me? Fine. Stay on all your chocolate. But that will destroy your collagen. Caffeine, coffee products. I don't care if it's mushroom coffee with real coffee in your mushroom coffee blend. I don't care if it's that MLM thing that's going around now. I don't care if it's the best chocolate 90%, which makes it even worse because it's more caffeine. I don't care. It's gonna cause collagen problems, collagen damage. Another thing that hurts your collagen is viruses, viral loads releasing viral toxins. Dermatoxins, Epstein-Barr, dermatoxins, that's another thing right there. You guys, how you doing? If you just got on here, watch this whole thing. Yep, chocolate too, people. Michelle Clayton, thanks for saying that on YouTube. I got some beautiful tomatoes here, these red bell peppers, and I got some butterleaf lettuce. Sugar? Selena, what about it? Talking about processed sugar, I don't think anybody should be on processed sugar. But sugar's not the problem. That's not why people are sick. Sugar's not why people are sick. That's a cucumber, you guys. Cucumber. So sugar's not why people are sick. It's fat. That's why people are sick. It's fat. So that's why people get sick. All the fat in their diet. But I don't think anybody should be on processed sugar. I don't think that's good. Zena, it looks good on Facebook. How you guys doing on YouTube? Is technology working out okay tonight? You guys see me? I'm skinning this cucumber down a little bit. So what really hurts collagen is all the cookies and cakes and even vegan cookies, just fat. Anything that's fat, lots of fat in diets, you know. I'm going to have avocado tonight, though. But you can overdo it. You can eat too much avocado because it's not avocado really that's the biggest problem. It's avocados plus too many nut butters, plus too many oils, plus milk, cheese, butter, plus chocolate. It's all the fat. And then things are getting really out of control. And then now your diet's just fat every day. It's like, oh, my fat, I had fat for breakfast. I had peanut butter smoothie. I had peanut butter on my acai bowl. I had chocolate on my oatmeal. I had chocolate cacao nibs on my oatmeal. I'm having all that fat. I had oil on my salad. I had eggs in my salad. I had tuna in my salad. It's fat, fat, fat. We fat ourselves to death. That's what we do. It's constantly, it's all the time, just lots of fat. Then I'm gonna have some bacon too, or maybe pasta with oil, maybe cheese. Cheese is fat. It's just nonstop. It's just constantly fat. Everybody's fatting themselves to death, and then it builds up in the heart is what it does. It always builds up in the heart later on. I don't care who you are. Yeah, you could live older and not have it take you down, but you can also have it take you down at 50 years old. You're on your treadmill at 50 years old, you drop dead. Happens all the time out there, you know? And that fat just builds up and builds up and builds up, and it gets inside your heart, gets inside the valves, gets inside the veins, and the fat just builds up and builds up. And that's a problem all on its own. So it's not, sugar's not the problem. Sugar doesn't build up in your arteries and your veins. Sugar can't build up in your arteries and veins. It just can't, it can't. But fat can. I like healthy fats, hemp seeds, avocados, tahini, sesame seeds. I like healthy fat. But you can still overdo it if you're sick, if you got health problems, if you got some kind of autoimmune going on, if you got acne, if you got problems, that's not even going to help, even the good fats. So I got a cucumber right here. Let me chop this up. I'm going to chop the cucumber in half. I just want to tell you guys the book, the Medical Medium book, the new edition you're seeing right here. New edition, revised and expanded. Okay? All right? I talk about autoimmune disease, depression, anxiety, lupus. I talk about PTSD, autism. I talk about ADHD. I talk about gut health problems. I talk about fatigue, chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia. I mean, Lyme disease that I'm talking about now. I mean, the book is loaded. I talk about colitis. I talk about shingles causing colitis. I talk about menopause symptoms in here. I mean, seriously, I got meditations in here. I talk about angels too, and I have even the story about my life. I talk about adrenal fatigue. That's another thing as well. The book's so loaded. It's so loaded. Cutting a cucumber right now. So... cucumber pieces going on top of the chopped salad. I'm going to cut some of these a little smaller. So I have some smaller ones too. There we go. Yeah, angels. Kathy got an angels chapter. It's mind-blowing. So let's talk about blood draw a little bit. You guys ready for this? Fasten your seatbelts. I know some of you already know I've been talking about it already. But... just, you might need to sit down for this. Might need to sit down. So when you get your blood drawn, the doctor's office, or at a place you get your blood drawn, or a phlebotomist comes to your home. Some people get that done that way. What happens is as they're drawing your blood, they're removing something from you that's really important, that shouldn't be removed from you. So, and what they're removing from you is your white count. And everybody needs their white count desperately right now. Especially now. You guys know why. Especially now. You need your white count, especially now. So every time you get the blood draw, they take way too much blood than they should. And they keep on doing it and they keep on doing it. So when you go back, they do it again. When you go back, they do it again. Or the doctor orders for more tests and you do it again. If you're chronically ill or chronically sick, you're going to get blood drawn from another specialist or somebody else. But they'll take 4 vials, full vials. They'll take 5 full vials, 6 or 7. Pretty much on any given day, it's 6 or 7. Sometimes it's 10. And in your blood is your white count. There's your white blood cell right there. There's your red blood cell right there. Yeah. Your CBC. Your CBC. Your CBC. See you later. Out the door. See you, CBC. Bye, CBC. Yep, 6 vials, 7 vials. Bye, CBC. See you later, CBC. Whoa, a white blood cell on top of a red blood cell going out now. See you later. And what happens is when you lose your white blood count and your red blood cells, they take a long time to come back. So after they take your blood, it takes easy 12 weeks for your red count to come back, your red blood cells to come back. You leave the doctor's office empty. Empty. You're still walking, you're still talking. They give you some apple juice maybe. Maybe they give you a cookie and you leave. You know, they might take 10, 14 vials out. They might take 18 vials out. But you end up losing your immune system. So if you got chronic illness of any kind, you end up losing precious reserves. Precious reserves you need. There's a reason. So I'm in the Lyme disease section, which is also a trigger section, which is interesting. Triggers to Lyme disease, and really triggers to a lot of different conditions, right? So extensive blood draw, when a larger number of blood vials are drawn, it can be stressful on the immune system because the very immune system, the very immune defenses that are keeping the viruses behind Lyme symptoms, fibromyalgia, Hashimoto's, any kind of chronic fatigue syndrome, RA, lupus, whatever it is, the very immune system that's keeping the viruses behind, that are keeping them at bay, end up being drawn out of the body. So your white count gets drawn out of the body when your blood is taken. Large blood draws tend to take away a substantial portion of a person's immune system that day, and it sometimes takes weeks to rebuild these portions of the immune system. Within those weeks that the full power of your immune system is not present anymore to monitor your blood, you don't have your white count monitoring your blood like it should. It's not present. Viruses can get a window to strengthen and proliferate. Infections can travel from organ to organ with ease because there's no count to protect you, because they're not being corralled by your white blood cells. It could lead to flare-up symptoms, more fatigue, more problems, whether a week later, a few weeks later, or months later. I recommend doing smaller blood draws over more visits. I recommend doing smaller blood draws over more visits. If you're struggling with Lyme symptoms or any other condition labeled autoimmune, so important, you guys, so important. I recommend no more than 4 vials of blood at a time. And even consider fewer. If it was me, I wouldn't even do 4. If you're strong and you feel good, maybe you can do 4. A mistake made by well-meaning doctors is to draw a large number of blood vials with sensitive people. And I recommend, if you're sensitive, to do less. So why is this important? Because it could take you down. One of the greatest holes in the medical system right now, which I had to drop the bomb, I had to let everybody know, because it always starts at the medical medium with these incredible pieces of information. And it's not me in the end, it comes from my source, is that there's a serious, serious crime happening. And it's a crime of bloodletting, where people are losing their immune systems to all these blood draws. And if you're sick with chronic illness and you get 5, 6, 7 vials taken away from you, and your immune system leaves, and then your viral issues creep up and you're getting sicker, then guess what? The doctor wants you back into the office for another blood draw, and now it's another 7, 8 vials. And then as you get sicker again, the specialist that he recommends for you to go see wants a whole new blood panel, and they want to see your metabolic panel, they want to see your hormone panel, they want to see everything. And now they want to see a CBC, they want to see all of it, and now you're getting a whole nother round of blood work done. And then you never get out of your sickness. They keep you in your sickness for years and years and years. That's how it works. Lisa says, what about donating blood for blood drives? Probably the most dangerous. What I would say is, if you're donating blood for blood drives, see if you can talk to them about donating less at the time and going back again if you really want to, if that's something you want to do. I'm not saying people shouldn't donate blood. We need blood donations, but if you're sick with chronic illness, the person who, there should be some system changes where people who donate blood should be the people who aren't dealing with any chronic illness. You're not dealing with an autoimmune label. No one with autoimmune should be donating blood. But people without the autoimmune label, they can donate blood. They should be the ones donating blood. So people who, are at the top of their game, they're in good health, they don't seem to have any problems, they're not diagnosed with autoimmune, they should be donating the blood if they choose to. But, took 30 bites at a time. You mean 30 vials at a time? 30 vials at a time? So what happens is that we lose all our blood, and that's a scary thing. So it's a hole in the system, a really bad hole in the system. Where's your blood going? Because here's the problem, they only use this much. So they only use that much. They throw your whole vial of blood away. What I recommend is asking for half vials. That's what I recommend, asking for half vials. Ask your doctor, can you do half vials? We're going to take about 7 vials of blood. Can you do 7 half vials? Which will end up being around, 3.5 full vials? I would want to keep it, if it was me, to 2 to 3 vials. So you tell the doctor it's either 2 to 3 whole vials or 2 to 3 half vials. One or the other. Now, the nurse or the doctor might say, well, the blood lab won't receive it or accept it. That's not true. The blood lab will accept it. The doctor just has to send it as half vials, and the blood lab takes it and uses it. Because the blood lab knows they only use that much. They only use that much. They throw all your blood away. That's what they do. It's probably the most dangerous, negligent, unreasonable, deceiving, disturbing, broken part of our system. And when we're dealing with times like these on top of it, and we're dealing with the fact that chronic illness is on the rise to such a degree, it's critical to know how it works. And now I'm not giving you all the information on blood draw. I'm doing a podcast pretty soon. I'm hoping next week it comes out, is what I'm hoping. I'm doing a podcast on this, and the information is going to blow your mind wide open. It's Medical Medium Podcast at Apple Podcasts. I'm just preparing you guys now that Medical Medium Podcast at Apple Podcasts, that's the uncensored version, because if you hear it anywhere else at any other platform, it's going to be censored. Even though you're hearing it, it's going to be missing pieces. I'm letting you guys know. And they take crazy amounts of blood from pregnant women. Can you imagine how hard that is on the baby? It's just unbelievable. And they take crazy amounts for people who have cancer. So when you have cancer, you desperately need your immune cells. You need your white count when you have cancer. And they take your blood, they take your blood, and they take your blood, and you don't even have an immune system because they're taking so much blood. You ever, come across somebody that's has cancer? They're taking all their blood. And they're not using it. They're throwing it all away. They don't even tell you, why don't we just take a quarter of a vial or a half vial or do a real tiny tube and take half vial? They're throwing every bit of it away except for the smallest percentage there is. You know what they used to do years ago? I'll just cover this for a couple of minutes, you guys. They used to bloodlet everybody, right? When you got sick, they would cut your arm open, you bled in a pan, and then if you didn't recover, they cut you again. If you didn't recover, they cut you again. If you got sicker from bleeding in a pan, they cut you again, cut you again, cut you again, and then you're dead. They didn't stop bloodletting. It's still happening now, but it's under everybody's noses. They completely fooled everybody, every doctor, every nurse. They fooled everybody in the system, and they fooled all of you. Everybody's fooled. I had to drop the bomb. I'm the only one to do it, but I had to do it. I'm going to put some green onion on the salad. I'm not saying don't get your blood work and don't see your doctor. I'm pro doctors. I talk to doctors every single day. I've helped doctors all through the last 30, 35 years with their patients. I was known as the bizarre symptom guy. Doctors sent people to me to try to find answers because I was the detective of all detectives because of spirit of compassion, and I would find out what's wrong with people. I'm telling you that when you go get your blood drawn, you got options. You tell them to reschedule another appointment, come back another day and get another 2 vials. You keep your immune system so you don't lose it, so you have a chance to heal and you don't lose your life, lose your health, or stay sick for 20 years as they do regular blood draws and you stay sick for 20 years because your immune system can't even work on cleaning things up so you can get better from your Epstein-Barr, shingles, HHV, 6 cytomegalovirus, streptococcus bacteria, coli, the staph, and everything else. All right, let's put some avocado on this. Guys, which avocado should I use? Did you ever come across that where you're like, you don't know which avocado you want to use? Is it this one or this one? You know, like some look better than the others, meaning in a sense they look like they might be tastier. I like the ones that are more firm. This one feels a little softer. I like avocados that are more firm. That's what I like. You guys open avocados probably all the time, right? Whoa, that's a nice one. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I like that. You can squeeze that pit out. That's an option. You can do the knife trick, right? Where you hit the knife into it and then you twist it like that. But you can also squeeze the pit out, right? Like this. A lot of times it doesn't squeeze out, so you end up crushing your whole half avocado, so you did the knife. You can also spoon it out. A fork, you can use a fork to get it out too, right? Let's get some avocado pieces in this salad. So we're YouTube live right now. We're Facebook live. We covered Lyme disease a little bit. We're covering blood draw. Let me get some avocado in here. So I'm taking some nice, beautiful pieces of avocado and I'm just putting them on right here. I still got to put a few dates on there, so just bear with me, you guys. All right, there we go. Just want to get some avocado on that salad. Can you see any of that? Now I got the avocado pieces, right? Got the cucumbers, got the tomatoes. Yeah, they draw a lot of blood out of pregnant women. It's really sad. I'm gonna put some little tiny bit of dulse on this salad. It's a couple little pieces of dulse. It's really great for toxic heavy metals, getting them out of the body. Guys, good to have you on YouTube. If you missed this YouTube episode, please watch it from the beginning. If you can, putting little dulse pieces on here. What can you take for cholesterol? It's getting your liver better. First is lower the fats. If that was me, if I had a cholesterol problem, I'd be lowering the fats. That's what I would be doing. I mean, you can ask your doctor what you need to do. Your doctor can tell you how you want to do it. But I'm telling you how I would do it, and I would lower my fats. That's just what I would do. Learn how to lower the fats. Maybe do one of the medical medium cleanses and cleanse to heal. Maybe get the medical medium, revised and expanded, new edition, and do the 28-day cleanse. Start changing things around. I'm putting some dill, chopping up some dill, you guys, fresh dill, right onto this salad. Little fresh dill. You know what? And I got a little parsley here. I want to put a little parsley on top of the salad. Do you guys mind? Do you like parsley? Are you okay with parsley? RP says, loving your content. I'm honored, truly. I hope you didn't miss. You're always going to get unique original content here that's life-saving. that has a history of getting out there, and then people, they run with it, they take it, meaning like the industry takes it. Some people cite it back, some people don't. But you wouldn't believe the list, the exhaustive list I can give you, a huge list of all the medical medium informational accomplishments that have changed health in the last 30 years. It would blow your mind. You'd be like, he started that? What? He started that? What? Wait a minute, he started that? What? I'm going to have like a show on it and talk about that. Just so people know what happened. It's unbelievable, really. I mean, the list is just, it's unbelievable. But the information starts here with chronic illness as far as information that's classic, timeless, and has saved lives. So you guys, I got a couple of dates here. So I'm going to chop up a couple of dates. See what I'm going to do? You're in my kitchen right now, medical medium. Thank you for sharing the information. Deb, it's to protect you. Totally. It's to protect you. Yep. It's critical to know what they're doing and how the system's broken. Somebody at the top knows. They know they're taking your blood from you. And they know it weakens everybody. And they know it could even lead to an early death with your illness. It's about being proactive, telling your doctor to take less blood, tell them to take half vials. And you know what? That will change the entire system. You know there'll be less deaths worldwide when that happens. They drain your blood, they take your immune system, you get sicker and sicker, and then you die sooner than you should. That's what they do. And if you're strong and you're young, you can keep on getting your hormones checked and keep on getting your blood tested and keep on playing the game when you've got resilience and everything, but eventually catches up to you and at least can give you chronic illness, cause the immune system, because it's a trigger, cause the immune system to break down, and you can get your chronic illness and your autoimmune. Putting a little dates on here. Takes years off your life is what it does. The blood draws that are happening is taking years off of everybody's life. You know there's people that live to be 95 years old, nobody knows why or how or what. One of the reasons is they didn't catch a lot of bugs. They had one of those lives where they didn't get a lot of different viruses and bacteria. The other reason is they didn't go to the doctor because they weren't getting sick to begin with to get them to the doctor. They took less blood draws. I've known so many older people, they're like, I don't get blood taken from me, but now I am. I'm kind of sick. I'm 89. I'm getting a lot of blood taken from me. I hate them. Damn vampires. So I'm going to squeeze some orange on here. This is a red orange. All right, I'm going to squeeze a little, and then we're good. This salad is so good, you guys. I am so pumped. I hope you had fun tonight. We covered a lot of good stuff. Thank you for sharing the truth with us. You're amazing. Thanks, Trisha Marie. You're awesome. You know that. On day 7, Lillian of the 369 on Facebook. Michelle L says old people fear hospitals. Yeah, they'll bloodlet them to death. Give them a quick death. Always have fun watching the videos. I saw that on YouTube. Always fun spending time. You guys are awesome. I'm heading to TikTok at the same time as IG. And I think I'm going to nibble on a little bit of salad for 2 minutes before I go on. And I think I'm going to get fired up because, I don't know. I think there's a lot of cool stuff to say. I don't think I said it all. So we got to go to Instagram and TikTok live. Which one do you guys want to come with me? And remember, if you go to Instagram, if you get kicked off because there's a glitch, go to TikTok live. Catch me there. I love you guys. I really do.